Hello, we are GitTogether and we are creating a centralized hub for clubs and communities. Our web application utilizes Python Flask for the backend, Bootstrap for the frontend, and SQLite 3 for our database. Before we head into Sprint 4, I just want to give you guys a recap on the things implemented in Sprint 3. Basically, Sprint 3 dealt with favoriting a club. This included the UI for a favorite button and a favorite page, as well as supporting that functionality. As a user who is in love with underwater basket weaving, I want to log into my account, visit the club's page, and add it to my favorites. So we're just going to go ahead and log into our account. We're going to visit the club's page, underwater basket weaving. And now we see this UI button for the favorite. We're going to click on it, and it's going to add it to our favorites. And we can visit our database and see that it was added right here. Now, as we go back, we will see that filtering and querying for favorites will be later introduced in Sprint 4. In addition to favoriting, we thought it was important to keep track of who is logged in and favoriting on our website. So as we can see here, we basically create a session ID via the user's email. As we head into the features for Sprint 4, we see that most of it has to do with the search functionality. The first thing that we had to do was create a UI for the search. And then secondly, we had to make sure that the functionality was supported. In addition to a simple string search, something that we also worked on in Sprint 3 and 4 was supporting the addition and filtering of tags and categories for clubs. You can see here our updated UI along with our search UI. We see the search bar, the filters, and the search button. We also have the sign out. So we're going to log out just to make sure it still works. We're going to log in, log back in. And now we're back at the home page. Now we're going to show how the search works. We're going to type in the string UN and hit the search button. This shows any matches of where the club name or description contain the desired string, which in this case was UN. Here we get 4 matches. Now let's reset it. And remember the user who loved underwater basket weaving? Well, now they can check their favorites by clicking on the filter. We click on the favorites, and now we see here that underwater basket weaving falls under these favorites. We can reset again. And they can also explore different clubs based on the category or tag that they fall under. So we'll click on academic, and we'll see science club. We'll see that science club falls under this category, and we can explore it. If we go to register a club, we can see the different types of tags and clubs that are supported. As we close out Sprint 4, there are a couple of project overview things. This included making sure that the buttons worked in the UI and testing thoroughly to make sure that all the functionality, including the searching and filtering, work. As we look ahead, we want to make sure that we have the proper UI fixes and bugs corrected so that our functionality does everything as intended and that everything looks neat and clean. One suggestion that we got from one of the clients during the biweekly meetings was to hash our passwords. Before, we were simply storing them as strings, but now we're using bcrypt and we're hashing them. As we can see here, our passwords are properly hashed. This concludes our Sprint 4 demo. As we near the end of the semester, we hope to show you our finished product soon and start to help students find the right community for them.